Hey, if you haven't already watched part 1 of my interview with Charlie, please check that out. Link in the description below.
We're gonna switch pace a little bit, so we're gonna do some
You
more.
want me to talk slower?
Yes,
Okay.
slower
Welcome to the
or
show,
faster.
baby. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're gonna just talk a little bit, or just do some more like rapid fire questions. But feel free to elaborate on anything that if you feel like it.
You got it.
All right. So, what's your favorite sports team?
Oh, Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right. Are you a dog or cat person?
I'm a person.
Okay.
I like dogs. I'm allergic to cats, but I love cats. I'm
Okay.
both. I'm safe with dogs, so that's
Mhm.
cool with me. But I love cats. Grew up with them all my life.
Nice. Spring or fall?
It's a good question. I'm kind of an inside body now. I mean, growing up it was spring, but now it's like fall. And I no matter what though, I love a rainy night. In fact, when I go to sleep, I always put on like 30 minutes of Spotify and I'll select somebody like John Mulaney or Chris Porter or Kyle Kinane, and I'll do a half hour of that, but I'll set the rain timer, thunderstorm, for an hour. So when I'm falling asleep, I'm listening to the rain. One of the coolest things that I used to do when I was younger is growing up with so many kids, it was nice to get away somewhere. So grandpa would let us go hang out if we wanted to in the back of his truck, and it had one of those 10 covers. So we would lay and listen to the rain. So.
Okay. Are you an M&M person or a Smarties person? Or a Skittles person, sorry.
I was about to say, what does that mean?
That's a Canadian. Yeah. That's the Canadian question.
I know it's Smarties.
Oh, okay. So do you like M&Ms or Smarties?
I'm not a Smarties fan. They're just a little too. There's an aftertaste on the shell of Smarties that just doesn't do it for me. I mean, look at me. I got to be a Smarties guy, right? But I would say I'm a sour Skittles guy. Sour Skittles.
Okay.
Sour Patch Kids, though, if I had to go sour anything. And they also...
That wasn't an option, Charlie. Come on.
Hey, look, I got to give them love. They endorsed the show I worked on, Teenage Bounty Hunters, on Netflix. When I got canceled, they were like, hey, bring it back. And I was like, you go, Sour Patch. But yeah, if I had to reach right now and I'm at the movie theaters, bam, I'm definitely getting some Raisinets. But right next to that, I'm getting my sour Skittles.
All right. One of your favorite movies.
One?
Just one.
You
it doesn't have to be your... Fine, you can give me three. Three.
Right,
just
three.
For you, Charlie, you can do three.
Thank you. All right. So 3 O'Clock High is way up there. I would tell you Hudsucker Proxy. And it's a weird one, but Life Force. Okay. Life Force is with Patrick Stewart. It's back in the day. It was made in, I believe it was made in England. And it's about they find these 3 vampires in space. Now there's a naked girl in it, and she's naked a lot, but that didn't have anything to do about it because I'm a huge fan of zombies, and it's kind of a zombie flick. And it was the first time I had ever seen a zombie film by myself, no parents. My dad introduced me to Night of the Living, or not Night of the Living Dead, but he introduced me to Freddy Krueger. And I got to audition for Robert Englund once, and he came up to my face and was like, hey, let's do this. And I'm like, but I would tell you the first horror movie that I got to watch by myself was Life Force. And then the second one was Night of the Living Dead in black and white. And it was raining for 2 weeks. And I wouldn't go outside because it looked black and white outside. And I saw it on a local cable access channel. So yeah, Night of the Living Dead is number 4. I gave you 4. I'm just going to keep answering. That's it. I'm there.
I'm cutting you off right now.
Life Force or Night of the Living Dead are swappable. They're swappable. Night of the Living Dead or Life Force, but definitely Hudsucker Proxy. Is up there too.
All right. Do you prefer adventurous or a relaxing vacation?
Oh gosh, relaxing. Yeah, I am lazy by nature. I like my brain to work, but I don't like hurting me. So, but right now, after 9 months of a pandemic, yeah, let's go to the Outback.
Let's go outside and
let's go anywhere. Right now, it's an adventure to get to the car. So yeah,
completely fair. What's the best place you've visited?
Oh, wow. I can't answer that question. The reason I can't answer that question is because each place has had such great moments.
Okay.
I spent 7 days walking around New York City by myself, and making music video, the whole thing. I, God, Rosarito, three of my best friends in an empty hotel because his parents were buying it or something like that. It's all about who I'm with and where I'm at. I would tell you the most beautiful moment in time that I can remember and the place was Minot, North Dakota. I had just taken peyote. I guess it was the first white buffalo born in 75 years. And then I saw Aurora Borealis while I was listening to Where's My Mind on an old school brick iPod. And I was by myself in a burnt down orchard, and there was only one other standing tree that was, God, maybe 2 football fields away. And it was just so beautiful, man. But that place, that moment in time, that place right there, if I could pick one, that might be it.
Sounds good. All right. What was your favorite childhood TV show?
That's a good question. Favorite childhood TV show. Couldn't live without it. Elf was good. Gosh, that is a great question. Favorite childhood TV show. We'll have to come back to that because
if it comes to you, just
that's
stop
a weird
me
one.
and just yell it out.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why I can't think of that. But moving on. What's up?
Yeah, no problem. So since it's close to the holidays, I figured I'd ask some similar holiday questions. Do you have a favorite holiday song?
I would do Silent Night. Whenever I hear that song, I always get a case of the feels.
Yeah, that one is definitely up there for me.
Yeah, I don't think I ever hear Silent Night and go, oh, guys, singing Silent Night again. Stop with the beautifulness and the amazing, comforting feeling and the smell of Grandma's house and the tasty food and whatever. Yeah.
And I feel like it's not as overplayed as the newer pop songs. Like Last Christmas, my God, that song's on repeat all December kind of thing.
Right.
Favorite holiday movie?
Die Hard is up there. Die Hard.
I like that you went that route because some people wouldn't think Die Hard, but I'm definitely one of those people who do think Die Hard. So.
Yeah, Die Hard's in there. It's just in there. I like to be crazy like that, and I always end up in a situation where I've got to do something crazy to get out of it. So, or I just happen to be in the right situation at the right time, and that's basically the summary of my life. So, yeah, let's stick with Die Hard. If I had to go classic, I'd go with It's a Wonderful Life.
All right. What's the best present you have given? And it doesn't have to necessarily be during the holidays.
The best present I've given?
Yes.
Given. Oh, geez, man, you're making these tough. Best gift I gave. That is so difficult to say. What is the best gift I've ever given?
It doesn't have to be, elaborate or like big. It just, to me, if it was touching, that to me makes the best gift when it's just thoughtful.
Well, I'm gonna say flowers, and here's why.
That's fine. Okay.
Here's why. My friend China, Helen, was graduating college at USC or UCLA, and I was delivering furniture at this time, and I'm sweaty and I'm dirty and I'm moving couches and all that, and in Brentwood or wherever it was. And we're on the freeway, and I see this sign on the back of the car, and I told her I would make her graduation. And I see this sign, it says congratulations. And I was like, congratulations. That's fun. China's her graduation. And I was like, I couldn't say the word for the life of me because that's like, congratulations or whatever. And I was like, we gotta go. And he's like, what? I gotta go to congratulations. My buddy Chris was working with me at the time. This is a couple decades ago. My buddy that I'm making this cartoon with was driving. I got him the job, and I was like, dude, we got to go to campus. He's like, we got to deliver this couch. I'm like, we're going to the campus. So we take this huge, 10-ton truck onto campus, onto the grass. I hop out. I gotta run. We shot Van Wilder there, and I remember we shot in one of the particular buildings, and I'm like running, and I see the lady with the flowers, and I'm like, let me buy the flowers. Let me buy the flowers. And I'm just this slovenly, dirty mess. I pull the money out, and we do the whole Olympic handoff, and I get there to the middle of the quad, and it's two buildings on either side of me that are identical, and there's graduations happening at each one, and I can see like the students, and everybody's already inside, but the students are doing their filing, and I'm like, well, we shot Van Wilder over there. Let's go there. So I ran over there, and they wouldn't let me in because of how I was dressed. You had to buy a ticket, all this terrible stuff. And out of a movie, man. I look over, and there's these two guys, a guy and a girl, and they're laughing, and they're sneaking in through the side door, and the side door is slowly closing, and I'm like, and I run over, and I catch the door, and I get into the back, and it just happened to be out of the 4 lines in that building, it was my friend China's line, and I got to give her the flowers, and I said, "See, I told you I'd make it," and that was probably. That to me felt like my biggest accomplishment, gift giving.
Sounds like a great gift, and it was a great story. So.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, no, your friends are your friends. I try to keep my promises when I can.
Fair enough. Do you have a favorite food that from the holidays? Doesn't necessarily have to be traditionally holiday related, but maybe
banana cream pie, banana pudding.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is not holiday related, but I forgot to ask you this earlier. But top 3 zombie movies.
Yeah, not a problem. Night of the Living Dead, Life Force, although it is a hybrid film. It's a vampire / zombie film.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say it's not a movie, but I'm gonna say the pilot episode of The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, that was very solid.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and lean on that as my third movie. There's tons that could fill in the gap there, but those are the ones that kind of like were different points in my life. That makes sense to me. Now, as far as favorite TV show growing up, I can't forget that question. Favorite TV show growing up would have to have been, I would say, I loved the humor of the Jeffersons.
Okay.
Yeah, that was definitely like, because I used to watch that with my grandma, so I had 2 pluses on that. I got to watch that with my grandma, and I got to watch this grown man just be a jackass all the time. And while Wheezy put him into place, and it was fun. I mean, I watched that. I watched Elf, and I watched Different Strokes, because Arnold was a little pudgy, so I kind of went with like, yeah, pudgy. I'm pudgy. We're pudgy. That's what we are. We're just pudgy, So I would have to lean on the Jeffersons.
Okay. Just in regards to zombie movies, by any chance have you seen Train to Busan? That's probably one of my favorites. It's more recent favorite of mine, I guess.
Train to
Busan.
No.
It's a Korean zombie movie.
Wait. Is it about a worker that helps this girl and they end up connecting? Like it's dubbed? Or is it the one where the two live across the way from each other in apartment complex? Because I've watched 2, I believe, foreign films that were zombie that were dubbed. Tell me what it's about real quick.
Okay, so the premise is this father is bringing his daughter from Seoul to Busan on this train, and as that's happening, like the zombie apocalypse basically is happening.
I'll check it out. Is it on Netflix?
I believe it is.
Done. How do you spell Busan?
Busan.
Done. I'll check it out tonight.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth checking out. I like zombie movies a lot, and especially the ones that kind of have the heart and character behind them. So something like, it's gonna sound kind of cliche, but Shaun of the Dead, obviously it was comedy, but there's so much heart in it as well. That part where he's talking about
Shaun of the Dead. Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness. And one of my other favorites is 28 Days Later. That was.
Yeah, I'm with you on both of those. Shaun of the Dead is up there, but that's number 4 for me because there was so much of my time in my life where I was trying to veer away from comedy, I love comedy. Like I'd love to work with Edgar Wright. You know, I'd love to work with Simon Pegg and those guys. But it was one of those things where, for me, like the things that made it scary for me, that made me have to get over the fear. 28 Days Later is a good example of that. But that you know, that infection movie, you know, that's kind of sick. And it depends how you look at it, because I was for sure one of those guys that was like, they're fast though, you know.
Yeah, it's not your traditional zombies by any stretch, but you
But
know,
it was
it's the
cool.
same
It was
themes.
cool. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah. It's always nice to discover these zombie movies that aren't quite as well known. I can't think of the ones that I've seen in the past, but I definitely have made points in the past to seek out the ones that are lesser known, and I always enjoy the genre. So
Well,
it's
you know
nice
what I
that we
never
have that.
got into was Silent Hill.
Okay.
But a friend of mine, Steve Monroe, he worked on that, and he invited me up to, I was either Lake Elsinore or Castaic Lake or something like that, to go watch them film, which was really neat. That was a birthday gift from my buddy Steve, and I was like, dude, my bro. But it was funny. Chris had, when my buddy Christopher did the mid-season finale for Series 6 of Walking Dead, I had worked with him and went on tape with him and all that stuff. And I told him, you got to take me up there, because my friend Alex Breckenridge was like the love interest at the time. I was like, you know, I have to go see this. And since then, I've worked with like tons of people from there, and you know, all my friends, and I was just like, hell yeah! And I watch it, and I'm like, yes, this is awesome to watch. This is what it would be like. How different would it be like if it was that person? You know, one of the things that used to take me out of films when I was younger, being in films, was I used to know a lot of the actors and actresses. You know, like Rachel Lee Cook. She was in tons of stuff, and we were super, you know, friends and all that stuff. We were all friends growing up. You know, we were all tight. So it was weird. It always took me a minute to kind of get out of the movie, or get back into the movie and be like, no, this is not her. She's a down on her luck, non-beautiful girl who ends up getting the boy. Just remember that. You know, she's not already amazingly beautiful. You know, but it was when I got older, it just kind of was like, yeah. Like now being part of these things, it's just like, it's a whole different world. You know, I've got to reinvent myself a bit since I've been here.
Okay. So we're just gonna talk a little bit about it. It's not. I don't want to go too much into it, but for the people who don't know, this was your first movie. You got discovered, like you said, kind of previously, at a Wendy's for this role.
What?
And I'm just wondering, how did it feel your first day on set? Were you super nervous? Do you remember who your scene was with? Just take us through it if you can.
I want to say that my first day on set, I had trouble sleeping, and it was the football scene, as I remember. And I ended up hanging out with this gal Tamar and her husband that played in the lounge at the hotel we were staying at, and then I ended up waking up just a little late, so it kind of freaked me out. But it was easy because we had to do a bunch of physical stuff to get started.
Yes. Okay.
So I didn't really have to think about it, and it kind of got me used to being on the set. Patrick Reed Johnson, who is the director of that, is still one of my best friends to this day. He really kind of knew how to help me cope and get through a bunch of stuff. I was a little, you know, shithead when we did Angus. I didn't know what was going on, you know, and it was like this whole world. I was like, I get to leave that crappy life behind where I was a fat kid and people didn't like me, and now I get to pretend to be the fat kid. You know, it was a weird world for me, but so many cool memories, so many weird memories. It was amazing, just amazing. So it was smooth transition.
And you have a favorite scene? Do you remember shooting?
I would tell you, favorite scene that I shot, it would have to be with George C. Scott, and we're at the dinner table with Kathy Bates, and we're talking about Uncle Barry RSVPing to the wedding. And I had no clue what RSVP meant, and I just thought it was hilarious that nobody picked up on that. But I enjoyed that. But yeah, so I would say that was pretty damn fun. But working with Chris with the blow up doll, that scene is memorably one of my favorite ones. I feel like I know what I'm doing. You know, like I get this. You know, I get his feelings. This is what he feels like, and this is. Troy is what I would be like if I were my friend, you know. So it was really There's a bunch of experiences there, man. I tell you, the heaviest experience was the shooting the laying the chess piece down. The
Nice.
grandpa's friend in that was the director
Mm-hmm.
of Empire Strikes Back, Irvin Kershner,
Mm-hmm.
and realizing that was amazing, and just knowing that I'm sitting here, with George C. Scott and Irvin Kershner and all these people, and we're all here to make something really awesome. Um, that was probably one of the other moments that really hit me while I was working on that.
Yeah, that scene when you put down the pin on the record, and the grandma doesn't wake up, and then you walk out. This is such a hard, like, that the face you have when you walk out, and in front of the whole wedding, and so heartbreaking. I can remember it so well. And yes, with then the next chess piece, if you haven't seen the movie, do yourself a favor, definitely go check it out.
It does pull on the heartstrings.
Do you have any favorite quotes from the movie? For myself, I should have written this down, but obviously I'm not that prepared. The one in regards to Superman being like, Superman's not
Superman's
brave.
not brave. Grandpa's line to me.
Yeah, I like that. For some reason, that one always resonated with me, and I just thought it was like such a unique take on thinking about Superman. It's like, yeah, he's not brave because he's indestructible. Nothing can hurt him. But,
the thing
sorry,
about
go on.
that scene, it took me 2 days to shoot that scene because I couldn't remember the entire speech altogether. I would
Okay.
get choked up, and it was really neat because George C. Scott was like there for me, and Patrick was there for me, and they were super patient. I think we started shooting that scene later on in the evening, so it wasn't like a full 2 days of working. Eventually, you're gonna get it, kid. But I couldn't nail it by the end of shooting that night. We were on a soundstage, so it still kind of worked out. But it was one of those things where I was like, I can't let anybody down. This is the moment where I can't let people down. And then I had to try to use that feeling in this, and Patrick kind of guided me through that. So that was pretty amazing for me, that whole day, realizing what camaraderie was. And that's really where I learned about camaraderie on set. Yeah, I mean, besides put it on a dead guy and bury it, that's definitely one of my favorites. One of my least favorite lines from that movie was I could not get the emphasis right on Grandpa says, you give her the other spoon, you sweep her back and you kiss her,
Yeah.
And I used to joke between the takes, I'm like, yeah, but that's not right. You're not supposed to do, you gotta ask. And but I kept saying she goes on a shooting spree killing large people, but I kept saying she goes on a shooting spree killing large people. I kept putting the cadence on large people because I was large, and I think we did like 15 takes of that. George Scott was like my hero. It's like, okay, guy. But yeah, so that's my least favorite too.
So 25 years later, we're still talking about this movie that touched so many people. How does that feel as an actor to have your work still remembered this so long after you did it? It must be crazy.
The fact that I'm still doing it, and the fact that people still recognize me from it, the fact that people love it, the fact that every other day I get a new something, like I'm on Cameo right now, and I just got a request for Stephanie Fowler, from Kristen Fowler for her sister. When does this air, by the way?
It might be in the new year. I
Good.
can air it whenever you need me there.
No, you're fine. So long story short, I got a birthday request from, Kristen Fowler to her sister, Stephanie Fowler. And I was like, that's so awesome. They're like, we know every line, and she's a published author now, and she's donated her kidney. I'm like, this is amazing. These people that inspire me, that maybe feel somehow inspired by something that I did to make them laugh or cry when they needed to do it, or, be brave. I can't get over that, whether it's in acting, whether it's what have you. When I quit acting, it wasn't because I didn't think I could make it as an actor anymore. I was actually doing pretty good. I had no complaints, but I wanted to go see if I could do the family life. Didn't work out, but I'm back doing a thing that I love, And Bryan Cranston's book, I read it before we worked on Your Honor. And one of the quotes he had, and it's cute. I've done weddings. I've done like 27 weddings at this point as a reverend. And Jack Daniels used to hire me to do weddings at their events as Elvis. And I was like, this is awesome, and they'd fly me to all these different cities. And this was when I first moved down to New Orleans. And one of the quotes he had, and the reason I kind of related so much was because Bryan Cranston used to do Elvis impersonation weddings and stuff like that. And in the book, he says, I rather keep trying to be good at something that I love than be perfect at something that I'm good at, that I'm great at, that I don't care about, that I can just do, that I'm passionate about. And I'm paraphrasing, but it was just one of those things where it was like, that's it. That's the key, and to have people recognize or think about it. And the fact that I'm still doing it now, it's huge for me. It just means, I'm doing the right thing. So it's kind of great. It's kind of awesome, to know that if I go tomorrow, I will have died doing the thing that I want to keep doing, that I want to share with people. And that's the beautiful thing about the mediums that I work in, is I do get to share it with people, whether I've met them or not. Who knows, someday I'll probably meet them, because that's just kind of how my world works.
You've kind of just answered this question a little bit, but is there any particular impact you want to have on whether it be the acting industry or just the world as a whole, just in your lifetime?
That's it. One person at a time, one emotion at a time, one feeling at a time that I can either share with you or give to you, or, help you aim in the right direction or get over something. There's what I like to call her a super fan, Kelly McArdle. She's on my Instagram, Charlie Talbert _performer. If you go there, look up Kelly McArdle, ARDLE. She has multi-melanoma. And that's not you're fine kind of thing, but you can keep living your life and have fun and keep going. And she the other day was like, hey, I'm gonna watch this, do you want to hop on? And I've done that before. I've hopped on the phone with her while she's watched it or whatever. I don't really know her, but I know that when I look at her Instagram, she's biking, she's having fun, she's hanging out with other people. I'm like, that's it, that's the moment. I've already done what I've set out to do, so now I just gotta go have another moment.
Isn't that a quote of Angus, have another moment or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Grandpa teaches Angus is, you've had your moment, go have another moment. That's all you can do, is just go have another moment. And that's really kind of the mark that I want to leave on the world, is just keep doing it. Just keep going, why not? If you don't do it, like, that's one of my pet peeves. There's like a whole theme through this interview. If you're not doing it, come on, man, do it. Why not? You can be the guy that didn't do it, or the gal that didn't do it, or you can be the person that tried. It was awesome. Here's how I failed, or this is how I did it. Those stories, like racing, on the campus to find your friend because you made a promise, the talking to somebody you don't know about a thing you did years ago, meeting, this conversation here, watching your movie with a person that it helped her get through a weird time. That's really all encompassing what it's about for me.
I really like how you said, why not? I think we all, just with life in general, not just for certain situations, but just everything we do, a lot of times in our brain, we always give 100 reasons why we shouldn't, or like why, and we should just be asking ourselves, like, why not? Why don't I try it? Like, if there's one good reason, go for it, kind of thing. And I think your mantra kind of says, go for it. Don't be afraid to try. If you fail, at least you failed trying to do something, rather than sitting back and letting life kind of pass you by.
Exactly, man. I taught a couple classes at Tulane for a professor there named Amy Chafee, who's also a breath coach, a dialect coach, knows the way of movement. She is extremely talented. She's somebody that I go to when I need work on what I'm trying to accomplish. She's let me guest teach her class on audition technique, and it was really neat. We just did her finals a couple days ago, and to see what these kids have done, these seniors, and I think one junior, how much they've come in just the 3 forms of auditioning I've seen, how they started from, to giving a performance.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, I was there for that, and I can't thank her enough for that experience. It's one of those things, just why not? One guy is going into, what is business and legal, that's what he's majoring in. And I asked what it was about, and they kind of smirked at me. I was like, no, I want to know, because what you're doing, maybe acting isn't your number one thing, but going in there and showing how you feel about something is huge in the legal world. It's huge in the making business work world, and it's part of all of us, so every little bit, why not?
Great words to live by. Charlie, do you have anything you want to share about what's coming up? What sounds like that? Is that cartoon on the horizon of being produced?
Well, I'm not sure right now. Right now, it's out in the world. We're doing an edit of the table read. We've got Michelle Prada from Vida in Riverdale. She's one of our lead actresses right now. We have Amy Chafee. We have Dump Truck Strout. That's his real name. He's an amazing guy. Check him out on Instagram. Dump Truck. Can't miss him. Beard talks like this. Work it out. Let's see. Myself, I'm going to be voicing one of the main characters named Tex, who kind of talks like this, and he's a little bit of an insecure snowman with 3 eyes. And we've got Chris Owen, who played my best friend in Angus, his wife now, Dana Owen, and we have a really good group. We've got Jeff Pope. We've got Todd Giebenheim from Raising Hope, Perry Mason. Jeff Dye has done an intro for us, comedian Jeff Dye. All these people, you can follow him on Instagram. This is a project that's a passion project out of my friend's brain. So we've gotten really far, and we actually have more. We have a 4-minute shot, proof of concept. We've got a pilot now that we've read through the first 2 episodes. We've got all the scripts written, which was way more than you start out with starting for a cartoon. And it's actually in people's hands now. So where that goes, who knows? But why not, right? And let's see, we've got the Showtime show, CBS Showtime show, which is Bryan Cranston's new show, Your Honor. That's just started airing this Sunday. You'll see me in episode 6. And then you're going to see Chris Berry, my roommate. You'll see him in a few episodes as well. And then Underground Railroad. I was working on a film in New York about a month ago with Liam Neeson. I don't know what's going on with that right now. And I think that's the world. I mean, there's a couple little things in the works, but I'm not saying it until it happens.
That's fair. I'm definitely of that mentality. Don't say it before it's out there.
Yeah, but you can. I mean, how did you find me? You found me on Instagram, right?
Yes, I found you on Instagram.
We weren't friends, right?
No, I mean,
we are now.
I believe so, but yeah, exactly.
We are now. I just friended you tonight, but I was going to say, yeah, if you reach out to me on Instagram at Charlie Talbert _performer, I usually talk to you. If you send me a message or something like that, and I can respond to it, it may take me a couple days, but I'll jump in there and hang out with you. And I usually keep people posted on what I'm working on, or just what the hell's going on in my world, but very briefly, send you a snapshot of the day. But yeah, that's kind of where I keep everybody up to date.
Nice. And I'm just gonna let people know out there, if you message a stranger on Instagram, the odds of them responding are really bad, in my opinion. So the fact that Charlie takes the time to respond to his fans just shows like the kind of guy he is, because I know a lot of people who just maybe they don't even get to them, or they might read it and just be like, oh,
well, people have done that for me, and most people, their warning for that is turned off, or it goes in a request bin.
Exactly.
And you don't want to hit a spam thing. But I figure, in this position, I might as well, check them every day and just see if there's somebody that got lost in the shuffle. And you never know. And you might even run into an old friend that just wants to say hey and doesn't have your phone number. Yeah, why not?
Exactly. That will be the theme of this one. Why not? Well, Charlie, thanks so much for coming on. It was like I said, Angus is one of my favorite movies of all time, and you are no small part of that. So it's been really great to chat with you, get to know you. You know, you're nicer, or if not, you're as nice as Angus, or if not nicer than Angus.
I
Which
think
is a
we're
big thing.
equally as selfish, but I would say I try to be nice. But thank you, man. It's been such an honor being on the show with you and hanging out with you. I feel truly blessed because I didn't know you really before today. So, I got a new friend.
For sure. And, hopefully maybe down the line I can chat with you again, maybe about that cartoon or about another project, but we'll see how things go with COVID, because I think one thing at a time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody stay safe. Keep your mask on. Remember to cover your nose too, because that connects to your lungs.
Yes, wear that mask. It is something called science backing it up, but
That's crazy talk. It's crazy talk. You're a witch.
True. Keep that on don't tell those people.
You got it.
All right. So thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. Please subscribe and comment below. Let me know who else I can reach out to. And take care of yourselves. Happy holidays. And I'll see you next video.